everybody, welcome to my channel and Index Card a Day 2023 series. Today we're going to talk about using your stash. So I am working on the prompts from week 5, that's the latest, and I am going to the astronomy prompt. And as soon as I saw that, I remembered all the things that I have in my stash, stencils, stamps, so all this Stamperia stuff that you hear now. So I pulled this all out. I've got this Cosmos Infinity collectibles. I've cut out some of the items in here. I've got rice paper that goes with this theme. I even have this calendar, which once you're done with the calendar, the pages are basically scrapbook pages that you can use. So I am going to be using them. I'm loving this picture, and I remembered that I had the rice paper that was very similar, and that I am going to use as an Insta background for this iCAD. Couldn't be simpler. So if you're in a pinch and you want to create, but you don't have a lot of time, using an Insta background like a rice paper is a great way to jumpstart the whole creative process. I've just put a layer of fluid matte medium down. I'm putting the rice paper over it. I will be putting a complete coat of fluid matte medium on top to seal this and make it a non-porous surface, because I am going to do some colorization of it and I don't want it to soak. The extra bits I'm going to save in my collage bin here. Now I cut this die cut from one of the collectible pages, and I just want to ink it around the sides. I want to get rid of the white edge, and I also want to get kind of a rim of black on it so that it stands out more from the background. And I start inking around this, and you know what, I know people do this. I am so much happier using my regular shading technique with my angle brush and acrylic paint. It's faster, it's just more me. So that's the way I'm doing it. But you can shade any way that makes more sense to you. So here I'm just framing the background that I have. This is going to let me see what it looks like as a page, and helps me make decisions moving forward. I also want to shade the focal image here, both on the edge and inside of it. Again, I want it to stand out more than it is from the background, because you'll see there's a lot of the same neutral colors in the background that are on the focal image. Now, one thing about this Stamperia, the paper pads, the paper takes colorization so well. It really stands up. We're talking really high quality stuff. It never pills for me, always takes color. Now I have this planet in here, and I want to make it stand out against the background, so I'm going to do the shading and make it stand out from the background. I'm using what is. I placed that rice paper so that that planet is kind of off the page. I just thought that was more appealing to the eye. So the prompts, when you get a prompt, they just guide you to go back into your stash and reminds you, oh yeah, I have something like that. I have a flower. I have this Cosmos stuff. And we can grab it. So that's another reason that I like doing the iCAD challenge. I'm liking how this is looking. My two focal images, one's part of the rice paper, one's the from the collectible. Then I decided I wanted to add some bling to the background. So I grabbed this Galaxy stencil. This is from the Crafter's Workshop. And I'm putting this tacky when dry medium through it. Now it goes on cloudy. It will dry clear. And that's when you know it's dry. I'm putting it through the stencil. And then I'm going to use their foil transfer sheets to add some bling to this background. It'll also add, this adds a little bit of dimension. It's not flat. I'm just applying it. The thicker you put it on, the longer it will take to dry. So just know that. And there we have it. I'm actually liking it. I think it's adding some movement, some texture, some pattern to my Insta background. Now I'm going to take some time and clean this up. While it's drying, please hit that subscribe button. Afterwards, click on the bell, select the option to be notified of upcoming videos. That way you won't miss any. So now I want to add a little bit more color to the images. So I grab my Inktense blocks. They are water soluble, they activate with water, and they allow that I can just paint them on and colorize. So here I'm adding some purple, just deepening the colors that are really there. I'm not changing the colors, I'm just deepening them on on places that I want. And again, that Samperia paper really stands up. So on the background, I decide, you know, I'm going to beef up some of the colors here as well. Now, yes, this would have been better off done before I put the Tacky When Dry medium on. So I'm kind of painting in and around the Tacky When Dry medium. So here I'm just adding more purple in some spots. The Inktense work very much like watercolor, but they are permanent when dry. So I've added some purple. Now I'm going to come in with some teal. Just deepening that color, not losing the effect. I still want to keep it relatively soft. I just want a little bit more color. Now you can do this with acrylic paints, just water them down. And the reason this is working so well, remember I put that coat of matte medium on top. Now I'm just using the Inktense blocks and I'm splattering with that teal, then I splatter with the purple as well on the background. And this just unifies. Splatters tend to unify whatever's underneath it. So I'm giving that a quick dry before I move on. I love the effect that you get using the Tacky When Dry medium with the foil transfer sheets. I don't love the fact that I have to wait for it to dry. And as you can see, it's still a little bit cloudy here. It's not dry yet. I actually end up leaving and coming back when it is dry. If you're doing that, if you're using it, you might want to set it aside and work on another project. Look at all that yummy color and texture. So now you can see it has completely dried. It is clear. I don't even know if you can even tell where it is. Now initially I was going to use the Champagne Gold foil transfer sheets from TCW, but I thought, you know what? Do the unexpected. I'm going to use one of their brand new colors. This is Eggplant. There's purple in my background, so how bad could it be, right? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. You just put it on and rub it. Rub it a little bit, time and time again. If you lift it up and it hasn't got complete coverage, if you put the foil back down and rub it again, you can keep adding it to make sure you get good coverage. And look at that shimmer and shine. I love it. I love it. So, here I'm putting it back on. There's a couple places that I didn't get complete coverage. You just put it on, lift it off. If it's still tacky, that means that you haven't put any of the foil on some of it. Look at that shine. That foil transfer stuff is so amazing. So I'm going to glue that down there. I'm loving how that script that was in the rice paper is right behind it. Just selecting the final placement for my focal image. I don't want to cover up too much of that foil sheet, but some of it has to go. So I'm grabbing my gel medium, just going to apply a coat to the back of my die cut here. And I'm just going to put some gel medium on the top as well. I don't want to cover up the foil transfer sheets, the shine. But I go with my instinct, my original plan. Now that I have all that Cosmos Infinity paper out, I am going to do another astrology based page. I grabbed my letter stamps and I'm just pulling out the letters that I need, and I'm going to spell the word explore. And I'm just going to take some black acrylic paint, put it on one of the blending foams and use that as kind of a stamp pad and stamp out the word in black acrylic paint. And there's the black paint. I always grab a baby wipe at this time, just in case I make a mistake, because, well, inevitably I do. Remember, everything's got a good coat of matte medium on it, non-porous, everything's permanent. So I will have an opportunity to erase it, remove it if I make a mistake, if I make a mess. And I did. So there's the baby wipe. Okay, let's try again. The paper is wet, so the acrylic paint is bleeding a little bit, so I'm going to dry it before I go on. Yes, I could have edited that out, but you know what? You can learn from my mistakes. And I clean off the acrylic paint after I stamp. You don't want to leave that on your stamps because you want your stamps to last and give you good stamping. I had a lot of problems with that L. You can't do this with archival ink. That's one of the reasons I like using the acrylic paint to stamp with. And there we go. love the bling, love the stamping. I love everything about this. Now there's a star on here, so I just decide I'm going to just put some stars with just black acrylic paint. I was going to put stencil butters through and maybe teal or gold. I think I may have gotten a little carried away, too many. Maybe I should have put it on the planet. I'm thinking that now as I'm doing the voiceover. Would you have put the stars on? Where would you have put them? Leave me a comment in just down below. Loving the whole page. It all came together nicely. Grab some gold. Can't give it up. I was going to put gold on the page, so I'm just going to grab my fan brush and splatter. Oop. I'm just using a liner brush to splatter today. And there we have the finished iCad. I love it. The bling, the texture, the pattern. I hope you love it too. Leave me a comment, ask me a question, give me a thumbs up. Until next time, go get creative.